welcome to another green marble crochet tutorial. For this tutorial we're going to be making this granny square. Still not sure what I'm going to be calling this one, so I guess we'll find out when I put the title of the video on the title of the video. Anyway, yes, we're going to be doing that. So yes, before we get started, if you haven't subscribed but you would like to subscribe to join me for some more tutorials, I would love to have you join me. Big thank you to my patrons. Thank you for your support. And thank you to my subscribers. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching my videos. Yeah, so this is a new thing I'm doing. It's the Granny Square Sunday, where every Sunday I'm going to do my best to come up with a new square. So yes, I think with the other one that I made last week, I'm going to be making a baby blanket. I'm not quite sure if I'm going to be incorporating this one into that blanket yet, because another theme of the granny squares is going to be opposite colors. So the last one was blue and orange, this one is yellow and purple. I think the one next week is going to be green and pink. Yeah, so that's what we're doing. So yeah, let me know what you think, if I should incorporate this into the blanket that I'm making with the previous granny square that I did, or if I should make something else entirely with it. And if you have any suggestions for what I should make, I would love to hear them. Yeah, but aside from that, we can probably just get started. Yeah, so we'll also start by having a quick look at the tiny details on the label. So the yarn that I'm using, they're both the colors of the same brand. So it's this one. This is the brand that we're using. And these are the tiny relevant details. If you need more time to have a look at anything, just pause the video quickly and just have a look then. Also, I just want to mention quickly that if I go too fast at any point during the tutorial, there's a feature on YouTube where you can slow down the speed of the video. So yeah, just have a look on the side of the video panel and you'll be able to find that feature. It's really good. Alright, so it's saying I should use a 3 or a 3.5mm hook, which is good because I'm using a 3.5, same as last week, 3.5. So yes, that's what we're doing. Now, let's begin. So I'm going to put this to the side. And what we're going to do is we're going to find both ends. And we're going to be crocheting both ends or both strands together. So to do that, we're going to line them both up like this. Just like this. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to start by making a slip knot. So to make a slip knot with both strands, we wrap the yarn around our fingers like this, and then we pull that loop through like that. But we're also making sure we don't have our tail too long. If I accidentally make that too long, I probably will. I know, yep. So that's a little too long. I wanted it to be a bit shorter just because we're going to be crocheting that into the work. But for the benefit of, this tutorial, I'm not going to do it again. I'm just going to cut the end of that yarn quickly so that it's a little shorter. Usually I don't like to waste yarn, so that's kind of also why I do it. But it doesn't matter. So we've made it a little shorter so that it's like this. And we've adjusted the knot to the hook. Now what we're going to do is we're going to make a chain of 4, but for the 4th chain we're only going to be using one strand. So what we do is, for chain stitch, we yarn over, pull through a loop, so that's one chain. Then we yarn over, pull through a loop, so that's 2 chains. Then we yarn over, pull through a loop, and that's 3 chains. So it's 3 chains like that from the hook. Now what we're going to do is we're going to drop the purple strand, it's like this. We're going to pick up the yellow strand, and we're going to yarn over, pull through the loop. So we've got one chain of just yellow by itself. Now, what we're doing is making sure to catch up that purple strand and hold it like this. We're going to find the first chain, so go back to the first chain just there at the beginning. We're going to insert our hook into that chain. Going to yarn over with the yellow, just like this. Yarn over, pull that loop through the chain, and pull the loop through the last chain that you did. So now we've got a very chunky chain circle with those 2 strands just there. And you want to make sure you can find the center of that chain circle, so don't make it too tight, because otherwise it can be a little difficult, because When we've got 2 strands together, it makes it a bit thicker. All right, now our next step is we're going to chain up 2. And this chain of 2 is going to be acting as our first stitch. And what we're going to do is we're going to be putting double crochets into the center of the chain circle. And we want an even number of yellow stitches and purple stitches. There's going to be 12 stitches all up. And like I said, including that chain of 2. So what we're going to do is we're going to put 5 double crochets of the yellow into the center of that chain circle, but we're not going to complete the 5th double crochet. We're going to do that together when we get to it, but I'll show you how to do a double crochet first. So for a double crochet, it's yarn over, then insert your hook into the center of the chain circle just there like that, then yarn over the hook and yarn over, pull up a loop just like that, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and that's a double crochet. So that's 1, so I think we've got 4 more left of these to do, but like I said, when you get to the 6th one, so that's 6 including that chain of 2, we're going to meet back up and we're going to do that 6th one together in the yellow. Okay, now here I am, and I'm about to put in my 6th stitch. So what I'm going to do is yarn over, insert my hook into the center of the chain circle, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. But now what you're going to do is instead of finishing that stitch with the yellow, you're going to drop the yellow strand and you're going to pick up the purple. And you're going to yarn over with the purple and pull through those 2 yellow loops, just like that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put 6 more double crochets into the center of that chain circle using the purple yarn, but when you get to the 6th double crochet with the purple, we'll meet back up again and we'll talk about how we're going to finish the round, because the 6th one is going to be similar to the 6th one that you did in the yellow. So you're going to yarn over, insert your hook into the center of the chain circle, yarn over, don't want those strands to be showing. You're going to yarn over, pull through 2 loops with the purple, then drop the purple strand, pick up the yellow strand, and yarn over, pull through the remaining 2 loops of the stitch. So I think we're nearly there, so we can probably do it together. So what do we get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then like I said with the 6th one, it's yarn over, go into the center, yarn over, pull through a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, drop the purple one behind, pick up the yellow, and yarn over, pull through those 2 remaining loops on the hook. So there we go, just like that. Now what we're going to do is, so we're going to catch up the other strand that we're not using, like this, by twisting it around the other one, well, twisting the purple around the yellow. Then what we're going to do is we're going to slip stitch into the stitch above the chain of 2 from the beginning. So there's that chain of 2 from the beginning just there. You're going to go into the top of that, just like that, making sure to catch up the purple strand as you go in. So make sure the strand is over the hook. Then pull through the yellow strand like that, and then pull that yellow strand through the final stitch for a slip stitch to close the round. And there's round 1, just like that. So you can see it's sort of half and half. Well, it is half and half. So for round 2, what we're going to do is we're going to chain up 2. And once again, we're using that chain of 2 as our first stitch. And what's going to be happening for this round is there is going to be 2 stitches into every stitch around, but we still want the half and half colors. And I need to explain this to you now as well. So you see that final stitch we did on the previous round is in the yellow. So that's going to be effectively the first stitch of the yellow side. So what we've got here is this chain of 2 is the 2nd stitch. So beneath that chain of 2, into the stitch right beneath that chain of 2, you're going to yarn over and put your 3rd stitch. So you count that as 3. Just like that. So that's a double crochet into that stitch. Then moving on to the next stitch along, you're putting 2 double crochets into the same stitch. So 1 and 2 into the same stitch. And that's also going to be counted as 4 and 5. Then into the next stitch will be 6 and 7, 2 2 double crochets, same stitch. Then into the next stitch it will be 8 and 9. Then into the next stitch along it will be 10 and 11, just like that. Now into the next stitch along you're going to put your final yellow one of this round. Well, actually no, sorry, because when we get to the end we're going to do another yellow one, but the final yellow on this side, just here. So we're going to put the beginning of another yellow stitch into the next stitch. So into the next stitch along, which is that purple one there, you're going to insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop. Insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop. Then yarn over, pull through 2 loops, but you're going to drop that yellow strand, catch up the purple, and yarn over, pull through those 2 yellow loops with the purple. So that's your first into that stitch just there. And then you're going to yarn over and put another stitch into that stitch just with the purple yarn. I really hope this is making sense. So we're going to be left with a stitch count of 24 by the end of this round. So on both sides you're going to have 12, is it 12? Yes, 12 stitches per side in each color. So this is the first of the purple, and then into the next stitch you're going to put 2 stitches, which will be 2 and 3. Then doing the same thing for all the purple stitches, putting 2 stitches into every stitch. And when you get to the last one, we're going to meet back up and we're going to talk about how we're going to finish up the round. Okay, I'll see you soon. Okay, now I've put my 2 double crochets into that last purple stitch just there, and you'll find that when you get to this stage you have 11 double crochets in the purple on this side. Now what you're going to do into the next stitch, which is that final stitch just there beneath the chain of 2, you're going to put your last purple one into that stitch, that yellow one. Focus camera. So just into that. You're going to begin that purple stitch, so just pull through the 2 loops, then dropping that purple strand, picking up the yellow, yarn over, complete that stitch with the yellow. And then yarn over, you're going to put your final stitch beside the purple one in the yellow into that final stitch just there. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So that's your final double crochet to finish the round. Now, making sure you catch up that purple by twisting it around the yellow just like that. You're once again going to slip stitch into the top of that chain 2 from the beginning to close the round. And there's round 2. It's looking pretty good. All right, now we're going to start round 3. So before we begin round 3, I'm just going to explain to you quickly that these 2 yellow stitches at the end just here are going to be stitch 1 and 2 of the yellow side. So 1, 2 just there, so that this chain of 2 that we do at the beginning, 1 and 2, is going to be the 3rd stitch. And right next to that we're going to put another double crochet, well, a double crochet, which will be stitch number 4 in the yellow. But for this one, the pattern is 2, 1, 2, 1, and by that I mean 2 stitches into every first stitch and then 1 stitch into every second stitch. So chain of 1, which is a stitch, and then 2 beside that, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Then into the next stitch it will be 1 stitch, which will be the 5th stitch in the yellow. Then into the next stitch along, 2 stitches, so which will be 6 and 7. I know this sounds a little complicated, but you get used to it. All right, so that's, see what I mean by 2, 1, 2, and then into the next stitch along, it will be 1 stitch into the stitch, 1 stitch. Then the next stitch along will be 1, 2 into the same stitch, 1, 2. Where are we? There we go. So as you go, you'll see that there'll be 18 stitches in yellow and 18 stitches in purple. So including these 2 just down the end here, so 1, 2, then the chain of 2 is 3, 4, then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, moving on to 11, 1 single stitch into there. Then the next stitch along will be 12 and 13. So I'll leave you to finish up the yellow stitches just here. We'll meet back up at that stage and we'll change stitches and yarn together. Okay, see you soon. Alright, so here I am, and I've done, this is stitch 17. If I include the stitches I haven't done at this end, this one I've just done is stitch 17. So we're putting the 18th one, which is into the next stitch along, which is that purple one just there. So we put our first half of that double crochet, then we drop the yellow yarn, we pick up the purple, and we complete that. So that's how you change the stitches, the stitch colors. Now we're going to be putting in 18 double crochets in the purple, and starting with our first one into that same stitch, we put our last yellow stitch. So that will be 1. And because there are 2 stitches in that stitch, the next one along is going to be a single stitch, 1 double crochet into the next stitch, then moving on to the next one along will be 2 stitches into the same stitch, 1 and 2. Followed by 1 stitch into the stitch after that, 1 stitch, and so on until you've counted to 18. And obviously when you get to the 18th, you're stopping halfway through the stitch and switching to the yellow yarn to complete the stitch again. I'll meet back up with you at that point. We'll finish the round together, and then we will talk about what we're going to do for the next round. All right, see you soon. Okay, here I am, and I've put in my 17th double crochet in the purple. So we're going to finish up with the 18th, so 18th in the purple into the next stitch along, so that one just there. And we're only doing half of that stitch, and then we drop the purple yarn, pick up the yellow, complete the stitch with the yellow. And then moving on into the same stitch, we're going to put another double crochet, and then 1 double crochet into the final stitch, just like that. So you can see that perfectly and evenly completes the round and the stitch count for the colors. So now again, twisting up that purple with the yellow, we're going to, just like that, hang on, focus camera, focus. We're going to once again slip stitch into that chain of 2 at the beginning to close the round. Okay, now that we've completed our 3 rounds, we're going to work on turning this circle into a square. So to do that, what we've got to do is we've got to chain up 1, so chaining up 1, and we're going to be treating that chain 1 as a stitch. But because we're not increasing anymore until we really sort of get to the corners, we're not going to be putting our first stitch into that stitch directly beneath that chain of 1. We're going to be putting it into the next stitch along, so not that one, but that one just there. And we're going to be doing half double crochets. We're going to be doing 3 half double crochets along. So for a half double crochet, it's yarn over, insert your hook into the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, then yarn over and pull through 3 loops. So that's a half double crochet, and that's 1. Then we're going to be doing next stitch along, which is 2, then another one into the next stitch along, which is 3. Now into the next stitch after that, we're going to be putting a double crochet, so 1 double crochet into the next stitch along, just like that. Now we're going to work on forming the corner. So to do that, what we do is we put 3 double crochets into the next stitch along. So into that one just there, we're going to put 3 double crochets. So 1, 2, and 3, all into the same stitch. So 3 into the same stitch. Now what we're going to do into that same stitch, we're going to put a triple crochet. So to do a triple crochet, it's yarn over once, yarn over twice, so you've got 3 loops just there on the hook. Then you're going to insert your hook into the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So it's yarn over, pull through 2 3 times for a triple crochet. Now into the next stitch along, you're going to put another triple crochet. So 1 triple crochet into the next stitch along, followed by 3 double crochets into the same stitch. So 1, 2, and 3. And there you've formed your first corner. So just like that. All right, so into the next stitch along, we're going to put 1 double crochet. So 1 double crochet into the next stitch along. And then into the next 5 stitches, you're going to put a half double crochet. So we'll do that together. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I know I probably don't have to say anything, but just always make sure you've caught your purple strand up along, like, and you're crocheting it in as you go, because you'll need that when you get to here. All right, so we've done our 5 half double crochets. Now we're going to put a double crochet into the next stitch, 1 double crochet. Then into the next stitch along, we're going to put 3 double crochets. So 1, 2, and 3. Now we're going to be doing a triple crochet into this one, but we're going to be switching yarns. So we'll do it together. For a triple crochet, when we switch yarns, it's yarn over once, yarn over twice, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop. Try not to get caught. Insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop. Oof, that's irritating. That's fine. Okay, then yarn over, pull through 2. This camera doesn't focus well. Yarn over, pull through 2. So you've yarned over and you've pulled through 2 twice. But for the last one, for the third one, you drop the yellow, you pick up the purple, then yarn over, pull through the 2 remaining yellow loops. Then you're going to, using this purple twine, obviously, triple crochet into the next stitch along, 1, 2, 3, followed by 3 double crochets into the same stitch, 1, 2, 3. And then you're going to be repeating the process that you did for this side of the work just here, which is 1 double crochet into the next stitch, followed by 5 half double crochets along, then another double crochet into the stitch after that, and then you'll be repeating the process for this corner. So that's 3 triple crochets followed by 3 double crochets followed by a triple crochet into the same stitch, into the same stitch, and then is the next stitch along, a triple crochet followed by 3 double crochets. So I'll meet back up with you after you've done the next corner and we'll work on finishing up the square together. All right, see you soon. Okay, now here I am with my third corner complete. And so we just repeat the process of 1 double crochet into the next stitch, followed by 5 half double crochets along, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then another double crochet into the next stitch along. Now we're going to complete our last corner and the rest of the square. Okay, so into the next stitch along, it's 3 double crochets, 1, 2, and 3, followed by the triple crochet with the yarn change. So 1, 2, drop that purple yarn and pick up the yellow and pull that through the remaining 2 loops on the hook. Then another triple crochet using the yellow into the next stitch along. So 1 triple crochet followed by 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3 into that same stitch. So like that. Then it's a double crochet into the next stitch along. So 1 double crochet. And then we've got 1 more stitch left to finish, which is that last half double crochet just there. So that's that connecting stitch just there. and pull that through, and a half double crochet, so there, just like that. And there we go, we've finished. Now what we're going to do to finish up is we're going to grab the purple strand as well, and we're going to insert our hook into the stitch above that chain of 1. So right there beside that first stitch that we did, the first half double crochet, we're going to yarn over with both of those strands, pull it through that stitch, pull it through the last stitch, and there we go. Now what you're going to do is you're going to yarn over, chain 1, and you're going to find your little scissors, or whichever scissors you're using. You're going to cut those strands just like that, and then pull that chain through. So just pull it through just like this, pull it tight, secure it, and there you go. There you have your square, your triangle square. Triangle, circle, square, you could say. All right, so yes, this is what this is going to look like. I'm kind of excited because there's a few things I could do with this particular design. Like I love the geometrical shapes, as you can probably tell at the moment. So yeah, this is going to be excellent. I don't know what I'm going to make yet, but all right, yes, I already have another 2 designs lined up for next week and the following week, which is really exciting. Yeah, I think I'm just going to surprise you with the one for next week. Something that I've come up with that I'm very, very proud of because it's taken me a while to develop. Yeah, which is kind of sad, but it was fun. I had fun. All right, yes. So I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you made yourself some lovely, or a lovely granny square, circle, triangle, square. All right. Again, like I said, if you haven't subscribed, but you would like to subscribe to join me for some more tutorials, I would love to have you join me. Thank you to my patrons. Thank you for your support. Thank you to my subscribers. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching my videos. And yes, I hope to see you next time. All right. Thanks for watching.